You know, sometimes it really is the first step that is the hardest. I just ended up abandoning my calendar, and we are not robots. I just cannot. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome. So today's video is all about how to get out of a funk. And I just felt very compelled to make this video because the past couple of days have just been rough. And by rough, I mean I just have felt super lethargic, very tired. And what this looks like for me when I'm in a rut is I just straight binge watch and just mindlessly do stuff, and I just cannot be bothered by anything. And honestly, this happens to me once every month, which ladies, you already know what I'm freaking talking about. Guys, you have no idea. Like it is the most annoying thing because it's not like, well, for me, I'm not burnt out. Like I am not burned out by what I'm working on and what I'm doing. I actually enjoy like the late nights and all the time that I get to spend on my business, but for a certain time period every month, I just cannot. Like physically just cannot. And I know that it's not anything else besides my monthly time because, like, for instance, I randomly was watching Fast and Furious and started tearing up. And why I was watching Fast and Furious, I don't freaking know. Like when I tell you I went on a spiral one day, I just literally binge watched 4 Fast and Furious movies and finished a new TV show on Netflix. And also watched a new rom-com on Netflix. So it went real downhill one day. So anyway, so this video is about ways to just regain your motivation when you are in a funk or a rut, or you're just having just one of those days. And I just want to acknowledge the fact too that it's totally fine to have days where you just need to recharge and you're just not feeling it. So yeah, first of all, totally fine. But I also know that, you know, as an adult and as a new business owner, there are priorities and things that actually do need to get done by a certain day. And so these are just tips to help you, you know, when you're having a rough day, to somehow regain motivation to do just what needs to get done. If that sounds good to you, then keep watching this video. And before we get into things, I just want to say, like, if you are into these types of videos, subscribe to my channel and turn on those notifications so you know when new videos are available. Okay, so the first tip I have to get out of a funk is to just give yourself permission to rest. Because first off, you just need to just give yourself grace to rest and recharge. And we are not robots. We are humans, and we need to recharge our batteries so that we can perform at our best. And that is one thing that actually a podcast that I was listening to, and I can't remember it right now, but if I do, I'll leave it down in the description box below. And in this podcast that I listened to, they were talking about putting yourself first. What they mean by that is, in order to give your best to something or to someone and to put out your best work, you need to rest and recharge and take care of yourself. And it's okay to need days to do that. And one example of this would be, recently I've just been giving myself permission to nap. And I am not a napper. Like, I actually do not like naps unless I spend a whole day at the beach and I am just sun drained, but I'm just not a napper. But the past couple of days, I just let myself nap. If I was feeling so drained and tired, I just came to this realization that I would be so much more productive and efficient if I can work with a full brain than working on this one task for triple the amount of time and with less brain clarity, because I am so tired and am just constantly trying to fight the sleepiness off. Give yourself permission to rest and give yourself grace for needing the time. It's okay. You're gonna come back more well rested and will likely produce even better work than if you were trying to just push through on zero fuel. Now, tip number 2 is to just listen to your body. What is your body telling you that it needs? And what this could mean is, do you need to drink more water? Do you feel tight and stressed from the day? Or do you need a quick nap like I just talked about? Now, listening to your body during this time is actually really important, because then, you know, while you are having a day of rest, you can use that day to really focus on the areas that, you know, really need more love during that time. So yes, listen to your body and give it what it needs. And tip number 3 is to just bring yourself back to the present moment. I don't know about you, but when I am tired and in a funk, I am just so in my head about just being out of it and being tired, and I have a tendency to sometimes beat myself up about needing the time to rest. So when you bring yourself back to the present moment, it takes you out of your headspace and it brings you more into awareness of what's actually going on around you. That way you can focus on, you know, how you can get yourself out of this funk or how you can properly take care of yourself right now. So yeah, bring yourself back to the present moment and out of your head. Tip number 4 is to set a timer for focused work. And this tip has been instrumental in helping me get my tasks done for work, especially the ones that take a little bit more brain power. It's for the tasks that you just cannot push off. They actually have a due date. And this technique is actually called the Pomodoro technique. And what it is it breaks up bigger tasks into 25-minute intervals with 5-minute breaks in between each interval. I love that because it allows me to set a timer for 25 minutes. I can just focus solely on the task at hand and just know that a 5-minute rest is coming. And in that 5-minute break, I will literally shut my laptop, I'll potato on the couch, I will do whatever, scroll on Instagram, watch YouTube, because I just know that, okay, I have these 5 minutes to just relax, give myself whatever I need. Breaking it up like that and having the timer keep me focused on certain things has been really helpful. So yes, set a timer for focused work. And tip number 5 is to actually get ready for the day. This tip is for those days when you actually need to get work done or there are priorities or deadlines that you have that day. So for example, like if you don't have anything to do that day and you just want to lay in your pajamas and just potato, that's totally fine. But if there is like some big task, this like big daunting task that you need to do on a day where you just don't feel like it, getting ready or putting on an outfit that just helps you elevate your energy a little bit more can be really helpful. It can help bring that energy up to a level where you can at least feel motivated to get what needs to be done. And tip number 6 is just to take a deep breath. This really helps me because when I have these days where I'm really out of it or just really tired, I also tend to get really anxious because I start thinking about all the things that I need to do but just am not doing, and the anxiety kicks in and my mind goes into overdrive. Again, it's that whole when you're tired, you just end up in here, and I've just really found that breathing and focusing on my breath and breathing into points of tension in my body is really helpful. It helps you bring yourself back to the present moment, and it also helps you just to like calm your heart rate down, calm your energy levels down, and especially when you still need to work on something that day, I found that it has helped me just brings a little bit more clarity into what I need to do. I've just found that it really helps me just to center myself and head into working on this thing with more of a level head than an anxious one where I am just super tense and tight about having to do it. And instead of having to do it, all of a sudden it becomes, okay, everything's fine, I just need to do this one thing. It just helps to mellow you out. So taking a deep breath or focusing on your breath is a tip that's been really helpful for me. Now, tip number 7 is to write down 3 things that actually need to get done in the day to make it successful. Or maybe it's not even 3, maybe it's just like one thing. If you did this one thing today, that'll make the day successful. And the reason why this is really helpful is because, you know, when you're in a funk and you just aren't as productive as you normally are, it can be really easy to put yourself down for it. For example, recently what happened to me is, you know, if you guys have watched my other videos, you know, July was just a month where I needed to be on the ball. I was front loading a lot of stuff because I have a lot of personal big life events happening in August. And so I mapped out my days to a T of like, okay, I need to get this done this day, this done this day. But then when those few days hit where I was just really out of it and just could not, like I just was in a funk, I had no motivation. What really helped me to get out of this like toxic spiral of, wow, you suck, you did not finish what you said you were gonna do, I just ended up abandoning my calendar and instead wrote down, okay, what do I actually need to do today? What are the top 3 things? If I do these 3 things, my day is successful, and everything else that I had previously planned were nice to haves. all the other tasks, I'm doing them a service by not doing them on this day where I feel like poop, because then I can put them and do them on a day where I have the energy to give it my all and give it my best. And they're gonna turn out way better than if I forced myself to work on it on a day where I just wasn't feeling it. And tip number 8 should come as no surprise to anyone who follows my channel, because I can't say enough about journaling and how helpful journaling is in all different facets of life. Tip number 8 is to journal. If you are in a funk and are just feeling all the things or are just super out of it and tired, use the journal as a way to get things off your chest. You know, I acknowledge the fact that it can be really hard to be present when you just have so many things that are on your mind, and on top of that, you're stressing out because you're not being productive that day. Like, when there's just a lot going on here, it can be hard to bring yourself out of it because you can get lost in it and it can feel really heavy. And so journaling is just a way where you can release those thoughts and feelings and work through them. Like, why am I feeling this way? And additionally, what I like to do is I actually like writing positive affirmations in there as a way to get my mind and energy back at a level that I want it to be at. So for example, what I tend to do when I'm in a funk and I am using my journal to get out of it is I will just start by releasing everything that's on my mind, and then I will work through, okay, I'm thinking this, why am I thinking it? How can I reframe this? What is the opportunity here? And then at the end of my journal session, I start writing out all these affirmations like, I am enough. I am doing enough. I allow myself to rest because rest allows me to show up as my best self and put my best foot forward. I need this rest. And so I'll just work through affirmations like that really help me to internalize that permission to rest. And last tip I have for you to get out of a funk when you have other things to do is to just get up and just do one small task, because getting up and doing that one small task could then spiral into you doing more tasks after that. You know, sometimes it really is the first step that is the hardest, and that's why just willing yourself to get up and do one small thing. It could even be something as small as getting up and taking your water cup to the sink. So yes, getting up and just doing one small task can just be the start of you doing a bunch of other things that you need to get done. All right, now that's all I have for you today. I really hope this helped you get out of a funk. I know that it can be really hard to regain that motivation, especially when there are just some days where you just cannot. But I do hope that these helped you, and I just really hope that you give yourself permission to have days like that. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.